The judges laughed when my autistic son walked on stage with a Rubik's Cube. They weren't laughing 30 seconds later. For 3 months, my son practiced in the garage, every night after dinner, 2 hours minimum, sometimes 3. I'd sit on a lawn chair and watch. Caleb is 12, autistic, doesn't talk much, doesn't look at people when they talk to him, doesn't like being touched or surprised or asked questions. But put a Rubik's Cube in his hands and something changes. His fingers move like they're not connected to the rest of him. 8 seconds for a standard solve. Behind his back in 12. Blindfolded in 20. I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Never gets old. His mom used to say he was broken. That's why she left. Said she couldn't bond with a kid who lived in his own world. I told her his world was fine. She just never bothered to visit. When Caleb told me he wanted to enter the school talent show, I thought he was joking. He doesn't joke. You sure, buddy? Lots of people watching. He didn't answer. Just held up his cube and solved it in 6 seconds flat. Fastest I'd ever seen him go. Okay, I said. Let's give them a show. I've never been so nervous in my life. And I wasn't even the one on stage. When they called Caleb's name, my hands were shaking. He walked up there like it was nothing. Sat on the stool. Pulled out his cube. The judges were sitting at a long table in front. 3 moms and the vice principal. One of them, Mrs. Pruitt, leaned over and whispered something to another. They both laughed. My jaw went tight. Caleb didn't notice. Or maybe he did and just didn't care. He held up the cube, let everyone see it, scrambled. Then his fingers started moving. 7 seconds. Solved. Scattered applause. He reached back into his bag, pulled out another cube, turned around on the stool so his back was to the crowd, solved it without looking. The applause got louder. Someone whistled. Then he pulled out a blindfold. My heart was pounding. This was the part we'd practiced the most. A teacher walked up and scrambled a fresh cube, handed it to him. He felt the pieces, closed his eyes behind the blindfold. 18 seconds later, he held up a solved cube. Now the applause was real, but the finale was coming. He reached into his bag and pulled out the board. 25 cubes in a 5x5 grid. All scrambled, all different. He'd been working on this one for 2 months. I'd watched him fail it 100 times before he got it right. He started solving. 1 cube, 2, rearranging them on the board. The gym was silent except for the clicking. Click, click, click. 1 minute, 90 seconds. He placed the last cube and stepped back. The board showed the school logo in perfect pixel form. 25 cubes, all solved, all placed exactly right. The gym lost its mind. I was already crying. The standing ovation wouldn't stop. The vice principal finally grabbed the microphone. Well, I think we all know who won. She walked to the trophy table, didn't bother with the judges' scores, handed Caleb the trophy. He took it, held it like it was nothing special. Then he sat back down on the stool, pulled out another cube, started solving it. 6 seconds, solved. He reached for another one. The gym was still cheering. Mrs. Pruitt stood up from the judges' table, started walking toward him, maybe to apologize, maybe to shake his hand. He didn't look up, just kept solving. Click, click, click. 5 seconds, solved. She stopped about 3 feet away, hand extended, waiting. He never looked at her, just pulled out another cube. She stood there for what felt like forever, hand out, being ignored by a 12-year-old in front of the whole gym. Finally, she lowered her hand, walked back to her seat. Caleb solved 2 more cubes before he finally looked up, not at her, at me. Smallest smile I'd ever seen. That night, I put the trophy on the shelf in the garage, right next to his lawn chair, right where we practiced. His mom called a week later, said she saw the video someone posted, said she wanted to reconnect. I handed the phone to Caleb. He listened for about 10 seconds. Then he hung up and went back to his cubes. Guess she still hasn't learned to visit his world.